as I was preparing this video, I realized it has only been 9 days since the start of the Goku Beerus celebration. Isn't that crazy? It feels like it has been so long. Feels like time has just stood still, that it would have at least been like 2.5 weeks. But nope, it's only been 9 days. Today's video is meant to be an incentive for you guys who are kind of bored with the game, for those of you who might be feeling pretty down about the game or are considering even quitting, to still hang around and look ahead. I do these videos occasionally because I want you guys to know that with all of the dead stuff that could be coming up, the bigger picture is still what's most important. Dokkan is a cyclical game. There are peaks, there are valleys. Sometimes those peaks are insanely good, sometimes those valleys are insanely bad. And every year it feels like the new peak and the new valley are just the most extreme that they've ever been. Everyone is now saying that this is the worst time ever in Dokkan's history, which is the same thing that we said last year, both during I think it was this, either this or this was just rough, really bad. But then also when PyCon came out, man, the reception for PyCon was crazy. Everyone was like, yeah, the game is dead, it sucks, nobody cares. And while that might have been true at the time in terms of nobody caring, Dokkan definitely came back. The point is, the game will come back. I hate that it has to be this way, where the best celebrations are the best and the mid celebrations are just really abysmal. I can't speak to game development, but that's just how it is. So instead of fixating on the crappy celebrations that we've got in front of us, let's use those as a means to an end. Let's use them as stepping stones leading to the bigger and more important celebrations. New Tanabata is coming up in July, but more importantly, GDC is happening in the end of August. And at this point, I gotta say, I don't even know if it's gonna be Dragon Ball Super Beerus. I thought it was before, but now I feel like it's kind of up in the air, considering we just got Beerus and God Goku for this celebration. So with all that intrigue, that mystery, let's see how many stones we can get between now and then. So what I did is I pulled up the equivalent for each of these celebrations from 2025, and we're just doing sort of a one-to-one swap. I can't account for anomalies like alterations to celebrations because of the Xenoverse crossover being shoved in here. Maybe that's impacted something further down the road. This Dokkan Festival Gohan is actually the part GDC, the GDC part EX from last year. But since GDC is going to be happening afterwards, does this EX now no longer count? Or will that still be an EX that happens down here? I don't know for sure. But for now, all I can do is just include it in here because that's what they did for 10th anniversary GDC or EX. 10th anniversary EX was Super Saiyan 3 Daima Mini Vegeta, right? But then this year's 11th anniversary EX, if you will, was actually not an EX. It was just a post 11th anniversary, and it was Dabura. Nothing to do with it. So I'm going to include Gohan in the calculations. Let's go ahead and jump in, starting with this. As far as this one, I don't know where you draw the line with part 2. Normally, the golden rule is 2 weeks for each part. It's only been a week, and the part 2, you know, if we want to call this part 2, I guess it started on May 13th. It's going to go on for 3 weeks. I don't really know how to necessarily gauge this. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to pull all of the stones that was available during the part 2 of last year's Golden Week, and we're just going to cut it in half because we've already had a good amount of stuff already released. If we consider part 2 having started with this, then that means the banner dropped, Special Day, we had Peton, Super Easy, Clash. I mean, there's most of it. I don't even know. Like, I just don't know where to draw the line. So I'm just going to cut this in half. So if we count everything here, I'm not going to go through the painstaking process of counting every single thing. I'll tell you right now, I already did it. So for this one, we got around over 110 stones for part 2 of Golden Week Kale and Khalifa last year. I'm lowballing, by the way, just to keep the approximations more promising. So if we cut that in half, 55 stones. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 55 stones are still yet to be received during whatever the hell this is. Plastic Week Part 2. Aluminum Foil Week Part 2. That's it. Then let's move on to the next celebration. Mercenary Tau dropped at the end of May going into June, and all of June was basically Tau and Tien. Thankfully, I have videos going over the Dragonstone approximations, and I always lowball in these videos as well. So 150 stones is not the true amount that we got, but it's what I'm going to be going with. So if you would like to slightly nudge the stones up a little bit by the end of the count, by all means, go for it. I'm going to keep it conservative. So 150 stones here. So 155, or actually 55 plus 150. Okay, writing this down. And then for the Tien part 2, we had another 120 stones coming up. And this was the celebration when we had that whole million arena crap. Yeah, that was great. Good times. Okay, so since I've got videos for those, we don't have to break that down any further. New Tanabata. This was a big success in terms of stones coming in because we got over 200 for part 1 and we got over 200 for part 2. A lot of stones because this is one of the bigger celebrations. This is the 3rd biggest celebration of the year. So 200 giving us 400 stones for this month. That's pretty good versus the 270 here. So I'm going to be including that in our stone count. So 55, 150, 120, 400. Then we move on to this part EX thing. And I say part EX because that's exactly what it was. But there was more than just this. So I was actually going through the celebration and the part EX started on the 7th of August. So anything that started around that time would count. So we've got this easier, that's 33. This one, I can't remember for the life of me how many stones you got for this one because they've discontinued those missions. So I don't even know anymore. New stages were added. I think these 2 were added, 4 and 5. And then they each had like 2 missions that were 5 dragon stones each. I don't know. This is another reason why I like to lowball, because when I have to do things like this, if I'm off and I overshoot, it doesn't hurt the ultimate count. So I'm just going to say each of these had, I don't know, 2 5-stone missions. So 11 stones for stage 4, 11 stones for stage 5. So 22 for this one, 33 for that. 10 stones for the login bonus. So what do we have? 22, 33. So 55, 55 plus 10, 65, 65 plus another 10 for the special missions. 75. Dokkan event, 77. Super easy ace. That's what, 6 stones or 3 stones? 77. So 80. 11 stones for Series to Series, so 91. 3 stones for EX missions, 94. 94 plus this, we just had this, I think. 94 plus 97, okay. So 97, 98. That's it, okay. So 98 dragon stones. We did a very precise count here relative to the others. Let's drop that down. Let's just say 80 dragon stones from this part EX. So we're gonna go ahead and include that here. So EX gives us 80 stones, and then Peppy Gals. See, this is where it gets weird again, because how was this before? How did we have Peppy Gals last year? Oh no, okay, it was after Gohan. Okay, Peppy Gals celebration. I mean, what do we get from this? Like, isn't it just the Roshi event? There's like additional missions for that. I don't know. I'm gonna just call that a throwaway. We'll just say 10 stones. Maybe I'm being ridiculously conservative here, but I'm just gonna say it, 10 stones. So with that, our stone count is 55 plus 150 plus 120 plus 400 plus 80 plus 10. That means 815 dragon stones. Let's lowball that again. Over 800 dragon stones await you between now and GDC. What does that mean? It means, yeah, the game seems dull, but still log in, still partake in the content, still do the daily missions, because I'm lowballing here. So that means you're actually going to be getting more than 800. And between now and GDC, you will virtually have gained about the amount that you will also be earning during GDC itself. Typically during these major celebrations, people tend to spend around 1,500 or more. So with 800 coming in up until GDC minimum, that is a good amount that's going to feed into the crazy amount of summons and otherwise hype that's going to be propelling forward after the start of the Dragon Ball Super Beerus, or what is it? The Dragon Ball Super Remaster, Remake, Re-Envision, whatever the hell. All that stuff, Dragon Ball's coming back. And with your 800 plus stones, you are going to be a part of the hype as it happens. With maybe a couple of stones sprinkled in for New Tanabata, but okay, fine. Let's just say, I don't know, you throw in 200 stones for New Tanabata, or 300. Okay, you got 500 left over. 500 plus the 1,000 in this celebration. You're looking pretty good. You're locked in for GDC. That is a good prospect. So don't quit the game just yet. Like I've been saying, give the game one more chance, because with Dragon Ball coming back, it could spell good news for Dokkan coming back moving forward after GDC. After this GDC celebration, we'll be right back where we started with another snooze fest happening in the autumn time, but who cares? Right now, we care about this. We'll care about that later. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let me comment your thoughts on everything that's coming up. In terms of the stone count, if you add 800 stones to your stone total right now, what would that bring your total to? Do you want to add a little bit more to the stone count? Maybe 900, maybe 950? What are your thoughts on these dull celebrations when things seem lackluster? Do you see the silver lining in it, or does it just make you not want to play at all, even for login and like minimum stuff? Let me know your ideas, your feelings, your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of us. Do it. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry, couldn't drop a video yesterday. I'm not feeling well. Got a lot going on. I mean, you guys know. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.